Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Or, if you're seeing this in the new year, Happy New Year. I hope it's going to be an awesome 2012. My name's Rob Nixon, and since May 1994, I've been advising accountants and accounting firms around the world on peak performance. As I observe what's going on in the industry, I get to talk to the industry professional bodies, the vendors, many accountants, and understand what's happening. And what I'd like to share with you today are 11 key points, 11 opportunities that I do hope you pick up and focus on in 2012 and beyond. The 11 points are in summary. Number 1, cloud accounting systems. Number 2, Generation Y, the future partners. Number 3, your current team that you've already got. Number 4, your current client base. Number 5, value-added services. Number 6, being curious. Number 7, your trusted advisor status. Number 8, unmotivated accountants. Number 9, value-based fees. Rooftop marketing, number 10. And to round out the 11, limiting self-beliefs. So let's start with number 1, cloud accounting systems. As of today, my estimate is that 3.5% or thereabouts of small to medium-sized businesses around the world have an internet-based accounting system versus a CD or server-based accounting system. And you see this all the time where they submit their disk or their stick, their memory stick, once a year for your compliance services, and you pick up the information out of date. And there's a big groundswell going on right now in cloud accounting. And I liken it to the way internet banking was 10 years or so ago. Back then, not too sure about that. My data's out there, is it secure? And there's a lot of nervousness about internet banking. Today, 10 years later, what's a checkbook? It's just the way that it is. And the same with cloud accounting systems. It's gathering at a rate of knots where every vendor around the world who supplies accounting systems to business is building or has built an internet-based version. What does this mean for you, the accountant? Well, first of all, if you don't promote it, it's going to happen anyway. So I suggest you get on the bandwagon and promote these new efficient systems to your clients. Really promote them. Secondly, when your client has cloud accounting systems, the compliance function is far more efficient and it's more real-time as well. So that means you can give better quality advice in a real-time nature rather than waiting for the end of year and that memory stick or that CD to turn up. So it's more efficient for the client and it's more efficient for you. What does that mean? What it means is that the compliance function, the estimates are, will take 30 to 40% less time at your end at the accountant with these cloud accounting systems. Now, whether you like it or not, it's going to happen, so I suggest you get on the bandwagon. And then when you've got that happening with the majority of your client base, and along the way with each client, you'll have less time on the compliance job, and that means you can do a number of things. You could downsize your team, because you won't need as many people to do the work that you've got. You could reduce your fees. I think that's the ethical thing to do because there's going to be less value in the actual compliance project. And thirdly, I think the real opportunity is to actually not downsize your team, but refill that new 30 or 40% of capacity with value-added services to your clients. Cloud accounting is here to stay. It's getting huge amounts of press. It's getting huge amounts of traction. I suggest you get onto it and promote this to your clients. Number 2 opportunity that you need to be focused on, and that is Generation Y team members, as in the current employees that you have that are aged between, say, 18 and 30 years old. Now, this group are your next partners. Most of the partners, 90% of them, are aged low 30s to high 50s, Generation X or Baby Boomer is the title. So Generation Y. This is a group that's less patient, they're more enthusiastic, they're technology savvy, they're really into it and they want faster results. Is your firm geared up for your next partners? If you are the old traditional fuddy-duddy staid accounting business stuck in the 90s or the 80s, then this particular generation will be using you as a training ground not to stay there and take over the business from you. But if you're a modern progressive firm with good training, good facilities, good equipment, good career path, and you're doing things that really are akin to what this generation want and how they work, then you'll retain them for a much longer period of time. I suggest you focus and ask your Generation Y team members, what are you looking for? Tell us how we should run this business from a technology point of view. Tell us from an environmental point of view. Tell us from a charitable point of view, a giving point of view. Get some ideas from your Generation Y team because they are your future partners. Opportunity number 3, your current team members. Yes, as number 2, you've got some Generation Ys in there, but you might have some 30, 40, 50-year-old team members as well, and you may have some sub-20s. Your current team, I find the partners don't ask their team enough what they should do. It's like the partners must have all the answers. Well, if you were to open up a little bit and be open with your team, you would find that they have many, many suggestions. Why don't you run a team advisory board? Why don't you take every single person aside, whoever is the CEO or the managing partner, and say to your team, if you were the CEO in this business or the managing partner, what would you do differently? And collate their ideas. Your team have fabulous ideas, but most firms don't release those ideas. It's like the partners and the management structure must come up with everything. No, spread it around. Get ideas from all corners. Open up the books. Let them know their performance. Let them know their business performance. People want to be on a winning team, but often I find accountants don't share and don't open up. Focus on your current team in 2012 as well. Number 4, your current client base. One of the most underutilized assets of an accounting business. Your database size and your client base should be on your balance sheet. Here's why. Most accounting businesses, and I am generalizing here, only offer compliance services or a little bit of ad hoc reactive advisory services when asked by a client. So consequently, because there is limited value in compliance, because it's out of date, it's a history writing service, then the average fee per client is very low, far lower than what it actually should be. I would guarantee that if you were to do what's called a client service matrix, and on the top line, spreadsheet you can do this on the top line you had all of your services listed out, every single service that you've got to offer. So compliance would be one, fringe benefits tax, 401k, superannuation, KiwiSaver, business plan as a service, and so on and so forth, list of services. And then down the side column, you had all your clients listed, name by name by name. And then you did a tick and a cross in each one of the boxes on the spreadsheet to work out what clients are buying what. I can guarantee you that the percentage of clients buying everything will be extremely low. Very, very low. That is all opportunity. You've got this vast range of skill sets in your firm and services provided before that need no more training or no more tools. What it needs is promotion. And you need to get on the front foot and advise your clients and find their needs and find opportunities for them and take ideas to them along the lines of additional services. And these additional services are all about helping the client in a bigger way that really make a difference. Focus on your existing clients. There's a river of gold for you and your client in point number 4. In line with number 4, your current client base as an opportunity, let's look at number 5, which is value-added services. We like to get you focused on 7 key areas to take services to your clients over and above the statutory compliance requirements of your government. And those are growth of wealth or revenue, profitability improvement, cash flow improvement, asset protection, taxation minimization, legally, succession planning or selling business, and financial retirement. Now here's the crazy thing. If I was to give a profit and loss with 3 years of history, a balance sheet with 3 years of history, and a story about the client to a team of 3 or 4 accountants and said, this is the client, this is what it looks like, under growth, profit, cash flow, asset protection, taxation minimization, succession planning, financial retirement, spend half an hour coming up with some ideas what the client could do. Guarantee you this, that you would come up with a host of ideas. So here's my thing. You know what the client needs to do. You have the skill set in these 7 areas to do it. Why aren't you doing it? Why don't you do this? I don't know. I don't get it. I seriously don't get it. When you have this inner knowledge, and those 7 areas really help the client. It's not more compliance, it's not more regulation-based services, it's value-added services. And when you do those 7, 2 things happen. Number 1, you help the client to leave a legacy, and number 2, along the way, you help them build a better, more quality lifestyle. Focus on value-added services. Get very clear what they're going to be and deliver them and promote them to your client base. Number 6, being curious. What does that mean? Well, I'm not an accountant, as you can probably realize by now, but I love asking questions. I love investigating ideas. I love reading. I love attending a seminar, listening to a webinar, on a YouTube clip or something like that where I'm learning all the time. And I have this curiosity nature about me, and a lot of people around me have a similar nature. It's a thirst for learning. Here's what I find with accountants, and I think I know why it is. I find that you don't ask many questions. I find that you're often reserved and you react to situations that are presented in front of you rather than being curious and flushing out and sniffing out the opportunity. So I find that you say things like, oh, we've heard that before, 3 years ago, but you haven't implemented it. Okay, so if you've heard it before and it was still a good idea back then as it is now, then just because you've heard it before, it doesn't mean that it's working for you. So if you thought the idea that you heard before was a good idea 3 years ago and you've not implemented it, shouldn't you ask yourself, why have you not? Instead of just brushing it off and saying, oh, we've got all that material, we've heard that before, we know about that. An old Zen saying, to know and not to do is not yet to know. Being curious, asking questions of your team, asking questions of your clients, asking questions of other outsiders. When you become curious and a thirst for learning and realizing that just because you heard it 3 or 4 years prior or whenever, it doesn't mean you know it. I think somewhere along the line in your training, you've been told, wired up, I don't know exactly where it is, but this is an assumption, that you've been told that you must have all the answers. So when you're told you must have all the answers and you believe you have the answers, a couple of things happen. Number 1, when you believe you have all the answers, self-esteem plummets. That's the first thing. Second thing, when you believe you have all the answers, you're not open to being curious or learning. 2012, make it a curiosity year. Find out some new stuff, do some new things, realize that, let's get some more detail on that good idea that we heard 3 years ago and implement it by being curious. Your trusted advisor status. You've still got it. Hey, you've got your certificate on the wall, you've gone through your training, and it's like once that certificate's presented to you, trust me, is embedded on your forehead as a tattoo. We trust accountants. Us business people, we trust accountants. But here's what I think. After dealing with you for so long, I think that status and that mantle is by title only. I think you need to live up to that trusted advisor status by action. It's my belief that the trusted advisor should be better than those that they advise. The trusted advisory business should be running a better business than those that they advise. Do you? Are you wealthier than your clients, or the vast majority, if you are promoting wealth solutions? Is your business a fine-tuned machine insofar as logistics and workflow and asset management and profitability and marketing and sales and people management, if you're advising in those areas? So I question this trusted advisor status. There are some business people looking at this recording. And as a business person, you should question, are you trusted advisor status by title, or are you trusted advisor status by action? Make 2012 trusted advisor status by action. Number 8, unmotivated accountants. Here's the thing. In Australia, where I live, the average age of the partner of an accounting firm has been reported at 57 years old. Average age, which means we've got a lot younger, a lot older, and we've got a lot in the middle. What does that mean? Well, if you're 57 years old or 50 to 60, let's hope that you've sorted your assets out. Maybe the kids are off your hands. Maybe your retirement fund is sorted. Okay, the GFC hit that a little bit. But at the end of the day, if you're of that age, you're not that motivated. You should be enjoying the fruits of your labor at this age. So this is our big killer in this industry, which is apathy and lack of motivation. It's too comfortable. But what does that mean for you if you're a hungry, motivated firm? What it means is that you can buy these firms, these unmotivated accountants, for a cheap price. They've got great clients, some of them got some great people. Why don't you look at this as an opportunity for you young, hungry firms or older, my age, entrepreneurial firms, and buy some accounting firms? Because if you buy blocks of fees, and if you are super efficient in what you do with your capacity, then you buy that $300-500 million block of fees, incorporate it into your firm, and it's 100% profit. Unmotivated accountants, they need to go, they need to retire, they need to hang up their shingle, or pull down their shingle, so to speak, and move on. Let the young ones through. Take this as an opportunity. Number 8, unmotivated accountants for 2012. Number 9 opportunity, value-based fees. I've written about this, I have spoken about it, it's in my book, it's everywhere. The time-based billing in arrears, by the clock, by the hour, is a highly unethical behaviour. I know that hurts. Team members pad out their timesheets, write-ups occur in arrears, the phone call was 5 minutes, let's charge them 2 units. All this happens all the time. It is, not only is it unethical, the crazy thing is, you are motivated to go slow. So if you drive productivity on hours charged, it's like the more productivity you do, the more you get, the worse it is for the client. That's not fair. The only way to do it ethically is to scope out the engagement up front, spend some time with the client, work out what the project's all about, what are the client's objectives, what problems are you going to solve, how are we going to measure that, what value do they get out of it, scope it out up front, and then come up with a scope of works and a price that's commensurate with the value that you provide. You charge based on value in advance, as in you price up front in advance based on value contribution by you. And that value is worked out at the outset, not at the end. Value-based fees is not about pricing up front. Price up front is just giving you a price, may not be in value. Value-based fees, or value pricing, is working out what value contribution you make, and then coming up with a price. If you want that value from us, then this is the price, and this is the scope of works to do that and create that. For example, you do this all the time. You help a client save them $42,000 a year, let's say, in tax paid to the tax department. Free cash, $42,000 next 10 years. Your value contribution by the work that you do nets the client $420,000. Just because it took 2 hours of time to do that is not that you should charge 2 hours at $300 an hour. You're going to help that client improve their financial condition by $420,000, and you do this all the time. How much should you charge for that? You will charge an appropriate fee based on 2 factors. And there's only 2 factors to think about with value-based fees. Your personal value belief, what do you believe your value is worth? And number 2, your client's value perception. In professional services, there's no right or wrong price. But you scope it out first, and you come up with a number, and you come up with a scope of works at the outset, and you work with your client on this. Value-based fees are a way to work it out with your client. Client wins, and know what they get. You win, much higher margin on the work that you do. Get stuck into value-based fees. Number 10, rooftop marketing. What is that? Accountants are some of the best kept secrets in the world. It's like, shh, don't tell anyone that we have this awesome range of services and we can really help our clients with profitability improvement and cash flow, protect their assets, restructure their affairs, save them tax, make sure they're served in this way, help them refinance. Don't tell anyone. What? The services you provide are amazing, but you don't tell anyone. Give me a break. If you're that good, are you not proud of what you do? Why don't you promote this? Shout it from the rooftop. Get known for what you're good at. Promote how good you are via the success of your clients. Get involved in all marketing activities. And be bold about this. You need to be shameless in your promotion and say, we can help you. We've done it 5 times before, and this is what we've done, and this is why we're good at it. You're more than happy to talk to those other 5 clients and put in a case study, put it on video, put it on your blog site, your website, and your articles, in press. Promote how good you are by the success of your clients and shout it from every figurative rooftop, every marketing medium that you can come up with. And there's tens and tens and tens of different marketing mediums. Rooftop marketing. Promote how good you are. You'll need to, by the way, because when you become focused on efficiency in your firm, you will need to refill that efficiency that you've gained with additional services. Focus on rooftop marketing. Our final one, number 11, limiting self-beliefs. Here's what happens. I've just given you 10 good ideas, 10 opportunities to capitalize on, and along the way, many of you watching this are going, oh, we couldn't do that, we're from the country. Some of you have said, we couldn't do that, we don't have the client base. Some of you have said, we couldn't do that, we don't have the right team members. Some of you might have said to yourself, look, I'm no good at this sales thing and value-added services, so what's the use? Some of you might have said, look, I know I need to get out there with my clients and offer value-added services, but I'm so busy, there's real work to be done. Some of you might have said, look, my clients will call me when they need to. All this chatter. There's chatter going in your head as an idea comes your way. It's a limiting self-belief. Come on. It's an excuse. Get over it. These are excuses. This chatter in your head. It's all an excuse. And it's a belief system that you can't do this. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of testimonials and feedback and forms and case studies from firms that are doing this around the world. But why not you? What's holding you back is you. Stop chattering to yourself. Just get on the front foot. Delegate that list to your PA or your admin person. Book me up. I'm going to see clients. What am I going to talk about? I don't know. But let's talk to them, ask them some questions, be curious and see what happens. Get on the front foot, be proactive, and shake off these limiting beliefs and all this chatter that goes on in your head. 11 key points. All these points are so important for the success of you personally, success of your firm. Let's make 2012 your best year ever. We're here to help. We want to help. I have a team of coaches. We now have a cloud internet product that you can get access to our materials without attending meetings if you choose to. Get on the front foot, make an inquiry, go to nixonadvantage.com, go to one of our blog sites, colindunn.com, colindunnblog.com or robnixon.com, make an inquiry. We've got people here to help. We have solutions to help. We have the tools, the techniques, the methodologies, the coaching, the training. We want to help you. We want you to be the success that you deserve to be. But you've got to get on the front foot and make an inquiry to us. Send us an email, info@nixonadvantage.com, and someone will be in touch. I wish you all the best for your future. Looking forward to hearing from you. All the best. Happy New Year.